This is the Big Machine, Cody Hawkins, and you're watching WGS-TV.
Welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer. I am Double B, Billy Boudreaux, and this is me, my Raw review for the week of February 20th, 2012. Very interesting start to Monday Night Raw this week as we open up with Eve Torres and the Bellas backstage, and from the way they're playing everything up, it looks like they're turning Eve heel. Now, she said she was using Zack Ryder, and now she's using John Cena to get to the top, and she wanted to have the Bellas film her going into John Cena's dressing room to do something, and next thing you know, she turns around, Cena's out there, and then they planned on opening Raw with Cena, I guess, possibly cutting a promo on The Rock, and was interrupted by Eve Torres, and it pretty much goes to, bash on Eve Torres, and it really sparked something, with the crowd, at one point in the show, the term that he used to describe Eve Torres, Hoski, was the #1 trending topic for worldwide for I don't know how long, not very long though, but it was still the #1 trending topic, and he went on to bash Eve Torres, left and right, and I never really would have suspected they would have used this storyline to turn Eve heel. Cena, possibly Cena, but Eve Torres? I was a little shocked by that. That kind of swerved me. It's not very often that I get swerved by a storyline, but they really did do that with Eve Torres. So, I'm going to go ahead and give the opening segment, which involves the backstage thing with Eve and the Bellas, and everything that happened in the ring with Cena and Eve. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. I thought it was, thoroughly entertaining that somehow that, even though the main spot of this was, John Cena and Eve, that he was able to somehow turn it on The Rock. Because he kind of made mention of, they're both, well, I'm going to say this at the time of this Raw review recording, my two 12-year-old brothers are here, so I am not going to repeat what John Cena said about both Dwayne Johnson and Eve Torres in that promo, but let's just say it was not a very kind word, so that's all I'm going to say about that. But 4 out of 5 for that opening bit right there. And then we have, of course, Sheamus and Mark Henry, and they made the announcement that Mark Henry was invited to Monday Night Raw so he could come back to work by John Laurnitis. And these two, went back and forth. I kind of figured Sheamus was going to come out on top since Sheamus is getting the big push right now with, him winning the Royal Rumble and him making the announcement that he's going to be taking on Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania this year. So I really didn't think that they were going to have him lose to Mark Henry. No, not at this point in time. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3 out of 5. I thought it was a really good pay-per-view. Match. I'm sorry. I apologize. Match. I thought it was a really good match. Even though it wasn't that bad, but it was still kind of predictable. So 3 out of 5. The next part I really want to talk about is the segment that involved John Laurnitis, David Otunga, and Teddy Long. Now, apparently, they're going to be putting in a lot of hype and a lot of oomph into this Raw versus SmackDown feud. Because, it wasn't specifically made by Laurnitis, but Otunga, the returning Christian, Alberto Del Rio, and Mark Henry both want Laurnitis to take over the general manager duties of SmackDown, so he could be general manager of both Raw and SmackDown. And apparently they're really going to ride with this storyline, and I really want to see how it pans out, to be honest with you guys. It really looks something interesting. They really gave Teddy Long some attitude towards Laurnitis and David Otunga in this segment. I really thought it was entertaining to see Teddy Long actually shoot on somebody again, and he kind of did in that segment, especially when he's saying that half the SmackDown roster was better than David Otunga. But I thought it was really interesting to see that, so I'm going to give that a 4 out of 5. I thought that was enjoyable to see that. For once we get to see Teddy Long, be Teddy Long. Him shoot on somebody. Give that dude some attitude. He's been a great addition as a general manager, but now we got him, shooting on people. Basically, so that's basically what he did. He said half the SmackDown roster was better than David Otunga, and I got to think 95% of the wrestling community out there is kind of got to agree with that sentiment that half the SmackDown roster, or in my opinion, all the SmackDown roster, is better than David Otunga. The only reason David Otunga is there is because he's doing Jennifer Hudson. That's all I can say about that. So 4 out of 5 on that one. Bravo to Teddy Long for pulling off that. Teddy Long carried that segment. Laurnitis couldn't carry a wet paper bag in that segment, in my opinion. Next up, we have a tag team match. Kofi Kingston and R-Truth taking on Epico and Primo with Rosa Mendez. I want to start off right off the bat. Any chance you get to see Rosa Mendez dance and shake those hips? Oh, my. That's all I can say about that. Any chance you get to see Rosa Mendez dance is an opportunity worth watching on TV, whether you see it live or on TV. If you see the words Rosa Mendez dancing, whether it be on YouTube or some other place or on TV, put it on there. You're going to want to see it. I promise you. Now, as far as this match goes, it's kind of giving me the hint of a new tag team formation in the form of R-Truth and Kofi Kingston, because they got the win in this match. But what it really makes me think about is if they're really going to run with this new tag team in the WWE with R-Truth and Kofi Kingston, what would the tag team name be? Little Jimmy Boom or something. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what a good name would be. But I just can't. I can't think of any. But R-Truth and Kofi, it looks like they might be pushing them as a tag team now, with Air Boom kind of being not defunct with Evan Bourne's suspension. So, 3 out of 5. Or I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5 just to see Rosa dancing. The next up on Monday Night Raw was David Otunga being accompanied by John Laurnitis, taking on Ezekiel Jackson, being accompanied by Teddy Long. And let me just say this, for those of you who remember this in WCW, when I saw Ezekiel Jackson and Teddy Long making their entrance on a Monday Night Raw, it kind of made me believe, he kind of resembled, Teddy Long in his entrance he made with Ice Train. I don't know if you guys remember Ice Train in WCW, but it's kind of resembled it. But what really took me by surprise, I talked to Ashley, he wasn't surprised about it, is the fact that David Otunga went over on Ezekiel Jackson. I thought that was really shocking, to be honest with you. I didn't think that would be possible to do that. But apparently they want to push him now. So let's see. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. I thought it was average at best. Then we have the Undertaker Triple H segment. Oh my goodness! I know before, a lot of people did not want to see Undertaker and Triple H 3. But You know, for one thing, Undertaker goaded Triple H into this match. You know, by making some references towards Shawn Michaels being better than him, which of course raised the ire of the game. And he would accept the match only on one condition, and this has already been confirmed. It's already been confirmed that it's going to be at WrestleMania, Undertaker and Triple H, Hell in the Cell. You want to talk about two of the biggest names ever in professional wrestling, taking the match that, you know, they really left their mark in the Hell in the Cell, and putting those two together at a WrestleMania? That's something I want to see. That is something I really want to see. You know, the two last big names of the Attitude Era going at it in WrestleMania inside the Hell in the Cell. Who would want to see that? 5 out of 5 on the segment. 5 out of 5. And now I'm actually looking forward to it. You know, I'm gonna steal the line from Ashley. Screw The Rock and screw Cena. I want to see Undertaker and Triple H in the Hell in the Cell. You know that match is going to take a back seat to Undertaker and Triple H inside Hell in the Cell. You know, the other guys can be mad about that. I don't care. Undertaker and Triple H inside the Hell in the Cell. That's definitely going to be a way better match to look at than Rock and Cena. You know, even though Rock and Cena has been built for over a year, Undertaker and Triple H inside Hell in the Cell is going to be 10 times better than Rock and Cena. I'm going to tell you that right off the bat. It's going to be 10 times better than Rock and Cena. Now, I don't have anything against Cena. I have a lot against The Rock, since he's a big freaking hypocrite. That's all I'm going to say about that. He is a hypocrite. But, Undertaker, Triple H, two of the biggest names from the Attitude Era, inside Hell in the Cell, where they've had some of the most memorable moments ever inside Hell in the Cell. And look for a future video right here on WGS-TV of me talking about some of their biggest moments inside Hell in the Cell. But if there are some moments that you would like me to talk about from their Hell in the Cell days, be sure you submit them to me, whether it be in a message here on YouTube, on Facebook, on my Twitter, or on here on this very video that you guys would like me to talk about. But a future video will be coming later to talk about some of their biggest moments inside Hell in the Cell. And now I'm going to say, you know, probably after you guys watch that video, you know, after I put it together and you guys watch that video, I think you'll understand why, you know, when I say that Undertaker and Triple H inside Hell in the Cell will be 10 times better than Rock and Cena. So, let's go on and get on with this Raw review. Next up, we have Daniel Bryan and Santino Marella. I think the whole reason they put this together is because Daniel Bryan and Santino Marella were the last two people inside Hell in the Elimination Chamber, and they just wanted to do a quick little squash match between these two, and that's exactly what happened. Wasn't nothing special to be honest with you. 2 out of 5. You know, they can only use it for a squash match at all. And like I said, not impressed at all. Next, we have something that was even less impressive. I think the only thing that really caught my attention is what those divas were wearing. Bella Twins, Kelly Kelly, and Aksana. They really can't do Kelly Kelly and Eve Torres anymore, considering the fact early in their night, Eve Torres went heel. But I've never seen a ladies... I don't want to call her a ladies wrestler because the match is going to get a 2 out of 5. I've never seen a ladies wrestler, you know, have, you know, lacy, I don't know how to call it, lacy frilly gear, see-through gear, and that's pretty much what Aksana was wearing, but they need a lot more work with her in-ring ability. It was so goddamn awful. You know, it's not very often you say this, but I think the most talented diva in that match was Kelly Kelly. But we got a couple of the two big key moments on Monday Night Raw are coming up right here, and it's John Cena's segment on The Rock. Holy freaking cow! Now you guys remember on the video I did about John Cena and Kane's ambulance match, and how they needed to start doing something to kind of really build into a rivalry with Cena and The Rock. And they did that with this very segment with John Cena. Holy... I'm trying to keep it because my brothers are here. Wow. Wowie, wowie, wow, 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 wow. They really let John Cena cut loose in this promo. Oh my... Again, brothers are here. A couple of things to note about John Cena's segment. For one thing, he really cut loose on The Rock. But also keep in mind that during this entire promo, not once did he reference The Rock's name. He called him Dwayne Johnson. Never in this entire promo do you hear John Cena say the words The Rock. It's Dwayne Johnson the entire time. You know, and he made reference to the fact that, you know, of The Rock's return last year, and he said he wasn't leaving again, and then he left for 7 months, never showed his face again until, like, the Survivor Series, and then he left again, and, of course, he's going to be back on Monday Night Raw next week, and, of course, we're probably going to have some references about that, but, they really let Cena cut loose, and, you know, I did say on the ambulance match video I made that, you know, they really needed to do something to really spark the rivalry again with Cena and Dwayne Johnson. And they did with this promo. 5 out of 5 for Cena. Bravo. I'm glad they let him cut loose again like he used to, and that was something they really needed to do, and to be honest with you, it's not very often I look forward to a Monday Night Raw with The Rock on it nowadays. But I'm looking forward to next week to see how The Rock is going to respond to what John Cena said. I'm very interested to see how they're going to play that out. And now we have the Battle Royal, which it was kind of predictable. You know, it was Santino. Basically, it was all the losers from the Elimination Chamber. You know, CM Punk won, and Daniel Bryan won. The other guys, you know, the other 8, it comprised of the other 8 stars that were in there, including, they even added David Otunga into the mix, and I'm trying to remember who else it was they added into the mix, because it had to be a 10-person Battle Royal, because, you know, they had the Big Show, they had Santino Marella, they had Chris Jericho, they had Kofi Kingston, they had R-Truth, they had Dolph Ziggler, they had David Otunga, they had the Great Khali, they had, I'm really trying to remember, Cody Rhodes and Wade Barrett. So, yeah, they had those guys, and like I said, if they weren't going to put Chris Jericho over in this Battle Royal and make him the #1 contender, I was going to be really, 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 really shocked. Because, you know, ever since Jericho came back, you know, the big word was that they're going to have him feud with CM Punk. And if they weren't going to do that at WrestleMania, then what was the whole point of bringing him back? So Jericho did win, and he's now the new #1 contender. And I did notice something was wrong with a few of the wrestlers that got eliminated. I'm going to be looking into the story and on the news sites and see if I can find out what's going on. And if I can get some news on, you know, what's happened, I will pass it along to you guys. But in the meantime, I want to know what you guys, the WGS-TV viewers and subscribers, what do you guys have to say about Monday Night Raw this week? What were your ratings? You know, I'd like to hear from you guys. Be sure you leave your comments in the comment section below. or in a video response to your thoughts on Monday Night Raw. Don't forget, if you like what I had to say in this review, do me a big favor and hit that like button. And if you haven't yet, be sure you hit that subscribe button as well. So with that being said, I'm Double B Billy Beardrow saying thank you very much for watching.